Hello and welcome back to the Watford Way. Today, as we look ahead to Watford's final game of the season. Come on, finally, this terrible season is over. And of course, we are playing Stoke City at Vicarage Road. And I'm not really going to talk too much about the game because let's be honest, do you guys want to sit here and listen to me talking about a game that means absolutely nothing? Probably not. But what we will talk about is the Watford season, how I think it's gone, and what to expect from the coming summer, really. So thank you very much for tuning in. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe by clicking the button down below. Leave a like on the video and let me know. In fact, give me a rating out of 10 about how you think Watford's season has gone so far. So with 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. Let me know in the comment section down below. And yeah, of course, we'll quickly touch on Stoke City. They currently sit 16th place in the Championship. Watford sit 13th place. I believe if Watford finish in 13th, it'll be the lowest ever finish since the Pozzos took over Watford nearly 10 years ago now. Which isn't good. I mean, clearly we have made progress as a club in that time. 5 consecutive seasons in the Premier League, 2 FA Cup semi-finals, 1 FA Cup final. We challenged for Europe at one point as well, narrowly missing out in that FA Cup final season. And the stadium looks a lot nicer. The local area has been, developed somewhat as well. However, I do think that we're kind of back, where we were really when the Pozzos took over. We're a mid-table Championship club at the moment. Yes, hopefully in the summer we will go on more of an upward trajectory. However, at the moment, for any Watford fan, including myself, it's very difficult to really get excited about the direction the club is moving in at the moment. Now, I know there's been a lot of speculation and talk about this meeting between Gino Pozzo, Scott Duxbury and the fans in early July. However, by that point, most of our summer transfer dealings would have already been done. But I do think it's going to be interesting just to hear directly from the owner, because the last time I heard from Gino Pozzo, I was probably, a kid really. I wasn't really, a massive die-hard Watford fan, if you will. Yes, I was attending matches, but, I've grown up in that time. Gino Pozzo has still not really spoken directly to the fans in almost 10 years. So it's going to be nice to hear from Gino, I think, and just to gather what his specific role is at the football club, what Duxbury's role is, and, really, dive into what Ben Manga and Helen Acosta's roles are as well. And obviously, that coincides with the massive rebuild that's due to take place this summer. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw maybe 10, 11 or even 12 players leaving Watford, because I do think the squad is a bit of a legacy squad from previous seasons in the Premier League, where we do have some star players, the likes of Joao Pedro, who's been sold to Brighton just recently, Ismail Assar, Tom Cleverley, Dan Gosling, Daniel Batman, Schuster Kong is still contracted with Watford, even though he's out on loan, Cyriel Takafka, Hassan Kamara, these types of players where, it's time to move them on and bring in some young, hungry, Championship quality talent. And I think that's the direction Watford should go in. For me personally, I like the idea of bringing in, Championship proven players as your core of the squad. So, the spine of the team is obviously centre back to midfield, attack, goalkeeper. Keep that as kind of a core British group if possible. And then, add in some, really exciting South American talents around that. For example, Yassir Asprilla is a fantastic talent, but what he needs to develop and thrive is that core squad who know the league and know the division. Whether that potentially means keeping Cleverley and Gosling for another year, I'm not quite sure. Clearly, they're not good enough to be playing week in, week out, I think personally anyway. But you do have to have that core British spine. We see it at Sheffield United, we see it at Burnley, in previous Championship promotion winning teams as well. They have that spine, they have that core, and then around that you have the flair players, the young players who are really up and coming and promising. And I think that's the direction Watford, should look to go down. The free transfer market as well, for me, is a massive thing to focus on. There's some fantastic potential free transfers out there in the summer. 2 for me I've highlighted on the channel before. In fact, 3 actually. You got Ollie Norwood at Sheffield United, Chris Willock at QPR, and Jay De Silva at Bristol City. Ollie Norwood's about 31 years old, but the other two are, approaching their mid-20s, coming into the prime of their careers, proven at this level, good at this level, their quality at this level. So I think players like that we need to try and integrate into this Watford team. And of course, you build around the good players you've got already, likes of Wesley Hoot, Ryan Porteous, Imran Louza, Ismail Kone, Yassir Espria. Players like that you want to build around, develop the squad, and hopefully next season Watford can push on and hopefully at least challenge for promotion back to the Premier League. We've not really even challenged this season. And actually, under Slavan Bilic, we were sitting third in the Championship, I believe, in about mid-January. And ever since then, it's really gone downhill. We've been through 3 managers, Edwards, Bilic, and Chris Wilder. And yeah, it's just been a really, really odd season for me. I've enjoyed making content for you guys here on the Watford Way, but watching Watford on the pitch has not been enjoyable, and that's what you want to get back. We want to be happy when Watford score, because at the moment, I'm going to these matches, we might go ahead, but I know, in the second half, there'll be that Watford capitulation, and we've seen it in previous weeks. We saw it just recently. We saw it against Coventry, where Watford go 2-0 up, very comfortable, we're very happy. We'll capitulate, and Coventry nearly won that game. Sunderland again, Ryan Porteous, Cabasele put us ahead with 2 good headers. Watford playing quite well, and then we capitulate once again. So yeah, for me, we've just got to clear out the players who, are either getting too old, injury prone, or aren't really in it. They don't want to be at Watford. If that's the case, then by all means get rid of them. And yeah, just bring in, as I said, players with that mentality. They want to get to the Premier League for the first time in their careers. And they're just hungry. They have a desire to play football week in, week out. That's what I want at Watford. And hopefully that's what we'll get in the summer. And so we'll end the video as we usually do with our score prediction for this game. And our final score prediction of this quite dreadful Championship season. So how do I think the game's going to go? I don't care. Honestly, I do not care. Of course, last game of the season at home, I want to see Watford win. I'll go 1-0 to Watford, and I'll go with Ismail Assar to score in what will probably be his final Watford appearance as well. So that's how I think the game's going to go. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. And do you agree with anything I've said in the video in regards to the summer, the transfers we should make? Let me know again in the comments. Leave a like in the video. Please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye-bye.